Ya tatari di ngela ne ngenji shibi tatela sendi no she duzte ta sonsumare de za ne ta sendi de shi se nanda tawasena tonje chimba asena ta ne de pala ne ma ti li tende ne ke chimbo yimba ni pa chimbo yimba ne de shiware di kola.
So in the preceding teachings, so we talked about overcoming attachment to the pleasure of this life, and to we also discussed about how, in order to achieve the purpose of our life in future life, how important it is to make the best use of this current life of leisure and endowment, which is really very conducive or very suitable for practicing Dharma.
Ni nipa chimbo jinsa deyung to kawata. Ni ta tanda to sumba deyung ni rimum to njipa ta. Ni njipa deyung ta nwancha nyeme o teniji ko yu she sumba res ba.
So we in the discussions, so we learned that at the moment, so we have, in fact, we have found this perfect human life of leisure and endowment, and then also the understanding the potential or the meaning of this life, this unique human life, and then our discussion then went on to the death impermanent, and which is to say that how there is no fixed time when the death will come. So this is the understanding this, the impermanence of the death. So is to arise, to induce some sort of urge in us to make the best use of this precious human life.
Zosonguyena ta tanda nyane ni chidra kawata. Ne chidra guyena ni chidra shingu. Chidra shimpala nyala chi te ne nyengu. Te za teniji go kalonji go ne ta chi senru chi sen teni chuaye.
And then we also found that the time to make the best use of this the perfect human life is right from this moment, and then the what we need to do to make the life meaningful is to engage in the spiritual or the Dharma practice, and so therefore now, however, in order to engage in the Dharma practice, then we must find about Dharma or learn about Dharma, and so therefore it is we should include in our motivations. Therefore, is for listening to Dharma. So is to learn and the putting, practicing the Dharma.
제장안에 다 디konane ene tsindi nuche duzde dodi zoji ene xie patelane nga xinge ngine la xie desile la ore karisena tsindi ga ta kangalo hakko de jere chero zu yenge ina xi dewa ina ya ne tela yu komba ma chona ane xi pa zangji ga ne ala so tsindi ga ane nuche du to mares 인자네 요네 용다 아니 소소 티바텔라 네 공부하시지 되게 좀 보시고 인사를
So as to overcoming, or literally really the reversing our the mental attachment or attraction to this life. So since we are talking about the events and the things that we find in this life. So it is on the in terms of the understanding. That is it's quite obvious, and so it's we should not have any problems, because it is everything because we are talking about our current life, and but however if we ask ourselves whether simply understanding the current situation or situation of this life is that sufficient. And then, of course, it's not sufficient, but because we must not only understanding, but we must really familiarize or habituate, our mind with that understanding by contemplating on these things over and over again.
제장 아주 요네 공부 채워이나 니마치네 니네 섬들이서 니니니니니니 들이 뭐뭐 들이서 공부 잡아 공부 자네니 공부 채워이나 아니 신주리 수만노지 거네 라와만지 빈이데 노예 많이 송거로 된 노지거니 렐할 주네 아니 타와도 도지 준비고 공부 타스 마세 아니 다 센디 대시대요 대시 그난다 년로 그거야난다 하나 또 강간이 쇼는 주인이 어떤 일이 차고 있어서
so so a day by day, so we must make effort in our practice, and so as the Shantideva said, that that there is there's nothing which cannot become easy through the force of habituation or familiarities. So this means that if we try to engage in our practice, each day and the next day, and so continuously, then we will find even our practice which leading to the state of liberation or the omniscient state of complete enlightenment. So then it will become as we continue our practice, then we will find it easier and easier. So so then it is also we must also understand that if our focus is directed to this towards achieving the liberation and towards achieving the complete enlightenment, and then the as far as what we need, what we would like to see in this life, in terms of the happiness, in terms of our good names, whatever we want to, make gain in this life, so can all come into place like automatically.
제장안이 다 telaya 젠디 때쯤에나 네 용고에서 말이 젠디 그 가르잖아. 예때 터치 아니 젠디 제선도 그러시네. 다 엄마 주팔이 순샤요래. 예때 말이 젠디 제노시소네. 아니 대인자니 젠디 유유제 니네다 소소소 제와 니네지도 소소소 대시 니네지 중국이나 아니 젠디 그 제소네. 아니 단조 대제와도 니에가와도 아니 이거 배 아니 저와 못 떠봐라. 네 나중에 매라서 봐요. 네 공부체 그거에서 셀 기주 되어가지고 네 공부체 그거에서 됐어.
So of course our progress in the practice is also depends on the how much the effort we put in it, and so because it is said in the supplement to the middle way that all the excellent qualities, all the excellent qualities are the after result of joyous effort. So therefore, here we are talking about the developing our understanding of this such topic like the precious human, recognizing precious human rebirth and the meaning of it and the rarities, and then how the transient nature or the impermanence of this life. So all these topics which we must contemplate it on it until we gain, we can enhance some sort of realization relating to this in our experience. So therefore, to be able to gain the realizations, so it's really depends upon the effort, putting effort in it.
제장하다 요네 용도 공부체 아니 공부체네 semba 기초 동아지가 네 공부체네 semba 소화 간에서래고 하잖아. 디 온기 센디가 대시 년도라 소바 샤유 조지랜데 같이 슈테 아니 세심마 편지를 렌드 소소지 거네. 아니 다 심마 편지 다 대니 그 로데 지 깔레메 봐. 비 요네 용데 네 조 되는 일이 쉬나 될라니 시우 취미가 아니 똑바디 시고 해서래서.
So as we make effort in our practice and in the meditations and on this above mentioned various topic subjects, and then we make progress to the point or to the effect that it brings some sort of a change in our mental outlook, in our mental attitudes, and the change through which we understand how important is to the future, our future well-being or the welfare beyond this life, and so in this way, when we our welfare or our which concerns with these current lives. So these are all like a secondary, becomes a secondary, and somehow, these are all we can accomplish. We can achieve this side by side if we work on our to fulfilling our aspiration for the future welfare, and so this we can say, like in Lamrim style teachings. So they talk about the three types of a person. So there's a person of the small scope. So the person of small scope is the one who who have the cultivated this and strong aspiration to seek the a better rebirth in futures.
인자네 다 배산님을 가져가니 러르 충어스네 되니시고 러름 세와데니 러름바지다 니 아니 고야데 니 신경 배샤지 순자니 데 러르 세기도 당가 저 어때시 와노지 러름바지다 건거거래 인자 니거니 단전이 약간의 고전에 맛이 저래 아주 고야데요 니 단전이 약간의 다텔라 년주도 다와도 도대체 뭐 가른 데와 있나 동보 건사 때니 니 년주 고전에니 다 뇽레가 사테스 그러와 뇽레조 사테니 년주 고전에 광고에 사레스 디좀 바치네.
So we come across this word lamrim, which in English is stages of the path. So which we, as we understand from that, the terms is referred is something which when we follow that, so we there is an order for there's an order there. So which it means we have to first engage in some practice, and then after that, then we go into the next one. So there's some sort of systematic order, and we follow the practice system order, stage by stage. So that's what is called lamrim, and so now the in terms of the actual practice, so it starts with the practice on the precious human rebirth, and it's the rarity of human rebirth, so forth, and so therefore doesn't matter whether whether our whatever is our ultimate goal is, whether it's to achieve liberation from cyclic existence or to the to omniscient state of to Buddhahood, but it's the in terms of this systematic stage by stage order of the Lamrim style. So it begins with this precious human rebirth, or in another word, to begins with the reality renunciations, which is to overcoming the attachment towards either this life or to the future life.
대인자다 사제존은 사제 니파 아니 심명 후시도 네 자완세나 렌데멀은 고에두만은 유소는 심명 후시도 스네 다 되는게 미네 도디 저지 아니 시송です.
So now as to our discussion on the three principal aspects of the path, so we are now we're talking about here by cultivating in the mind that this human life is so hard to find and yet has no time to spare, its preoccupation with this life will cease. So this one, by contemplating repeatedly the truth of karma and samsaric sufferings, so preoccupation with next life will come to cease. So we are talking about how to overcome the attachment or the attraction to the future rebirth.
제상아다 동보 아니치 동보 렌데 몰로시고 렌데 몰로싱이데 가르치고서나 맞죠 제월 거인 바데 줄라티니 중고요래 줄라티니 중고고에 있었다 게웬 제우데다 대화 제우 대화데 가만에 중었으나 제우 대화데 게와시 발라티니 중고요래 아니 제우 둥아데 갈란티니 중었어 제우 둥아데 좀 게와 아니 드니 레라테네 아니 주어한테는 다 렌데 몰라와 처음에 버리시네 드니시고요
So in this verse, so there's a mention of it touches on the truth of karma. So which in Tibetan version, so there's a use of the word the unfailing or the infallibility of the truth of karma. So now, what does that mean? The unfailing or the infallibility of the law of karma. So that means the generally the result is result follow after the cause, specific cause, and so which is to say that if the happiness result from the virtue, and whereas the sufferings result from non-virtues. So this talking about this causal the relationship between like a happiness and its cause virtue and this suffering and its cause non-virtues. So it's talking about this. This is infallibles.
제장안에 다 가서 센델 시차와 인자네 쇼고 쇼고래 신산에 시디자라네 맨로와 많이 봐. 아니 로와 유튜브 고르지라다네 시고. 다테 시와테 시 제스노네 시거르세나 레카노 제스노네 시거. 레카비 제스노네 덴로다. 네 아니 레 먹게와라 수비 제스노네 녀로라 수발라. 시거요레스.
So this so due to the law of cause and effect, that the we will we find our future life. So like we just have to we know that how this current life will sooner or later it will end, and then when with the death. So therefore what is saying here is that after the death, so where we go, what kind of life we find. So it depends upon our karma. So that is to, if we have a good karma, then we will find a good rebirth. And whereas the bad karmas then will lead us to the bad or the unhappy rebirth.
시도 아니 렌데 뜻이데 렌데 차시 차와생이데 아니 할레제 신도 또 가오시 아니 수제가 뭐 차시 차와데도 수제 거는 뭐 아마 공이거든요. 네 참으시 말이 맞아 돈이 있으네니 시도 참으시 저거 그랬대나 저 동에 녀로다 좀 발라서 봐 자소 여대래 이내야 아니 렌데 차시 차와 마투 이들라 아니 녀로다 좀 발라서 보고 또 못와 아니 수지 적네 체크와 되네 안 가서디 또지라고 나지도 되게 뭐 못한 거요래 또지색으로 따티니 로지노로 뭐 못한 거요 진짜 아니 내 차시 차와 또 그거에는 되지 kalekhawa insaresita. So tu ne. Te chichegu na.
So with the karma, subject of karma, so there are we can go into a very subtle level of karmas, and it is said that the subtle level of karma is really only a fully like a awakened being, like a Buddha, can understand, can understand that, and not anyone else. So therefore, from that point of view, it is like if we compare to the like the such subject of like of like emptiness, so which even though it's very deep and very subtle, but it can be, emptiness is also the object of realization, even a direct object of realization of like even the lesser vehicles of like the arhat, like the hearers and solitary realizer of the lesser vehicles, even they can gain that realization of direct realization of the emptiness. But however, they cannot gain such understanding of the subtle level of the function of the law of karma.
Teniga ne ta gewa ina chunju mu gewa na chunju teni zhendewa to pundewa teni mashuna ne kepa dene san ina da and to talk mu ina da tana ne shonju samba yeyo le lendela ne loto tsaji da matana ne ta shidu sal nyawala sha gewa teniga ne yong sunja eres.
So there might arise questions. So that is that because in terms of the practice, it is said that we must also practice, take into account the practicing the law of karma on even on the most subtle level as well. That in terms of what karma to create and what karma to abandon, which is necessary. So therefore because even the practice of karma, like in terms of the adopting the right karma and then abandoning the negative karma. So this is something that all the practitioner must follow, so otherwise even if you don't follow that, then even if somebody consider himself as a great scholar, but if he or she doesn't follow the practice of karma, then because of that, then will fall into the lower rebirth. Even somebody who can consider as a very very highly realized, like a yogi, even if they also lack the practice of karma, they will also fall to the lower rebirth. But in fact, even it is said in the scripture that even the bodhisattvas, if they don't they follow the practice of karma, then they can also fall into the lower rebirths. So therefore, it is necessary that even if we lack the full the understanding of the karma on a subtle level, but we must, for the sake of our practice, we must at least have some faith and convictions in the the function of the karma.
Then Satana Natsoti Gom Jatisala go Kalmuchi Kures, Kalmutu Res. And the Lorage in Golani, Tanjone Gonkures, Lora Gondisala, and go Tanjone Gonkures. That Chilone Kagsala, and it landed and go to Kures and Tangato. She saw out at the Yore. Ne Chilone, they landed in Gotune, Mugiwa Chunga in a Pontagito, Giva Chunga in a Tachi, or the nigger Lone go to Kores. This
So there is a saying that the motivations, of setting the right motivation, so is the beginning of the meditations, engaging in the meditation practice, whereas the contemplating on the life of leisure and endowment is the beginning of the practice or the contemplation on the lamrim or the stages of the path, whereas the following the practice of the law of cause, law of karma, and its result, so is the beginning of the practice of the dharmas. So therefore, to the practice of dharma, so it is really very very important, that very critical that that we must the adopt or accept the virtue. Virtue, even if it's something very, small or what is a tiny one, whereas we must try to abandon or to reject the non-virtue or negativities, even how small or how minor it is, we must avoid it.
Chezanga Tandang Mumbojigan, Tuni Chitawase, Shonju Sense. Tendrolpe, Mipachendo Kao, the Wachendo Kawazo. That Zozoala Nielani, Lendela, Ichipi, the Wajido, Della Lontoji Majina, Ne, the legal Londo Machewa, Ne, that Tony Gondondo, Shonju Sen, Ne, Gondondo, the legal Jena, Tazolane. She can't shake a pani, my sheep isn't it? And it's shown it in this.
So the this practice, of the law of cause and effect, law of karma and its effect, in terms of what to accept and what to reject in our practice. So it's a very kind of very fundamental the Dhamma practice. So there are people who kind of ignore, who neglect this practice, fundamental practice, but they and still they're saying that, or that thinking that they are just practicing to cultivating like a bodhicitta, or to gain the understanding of the truth of emptiness, all that. So this to saying these things, so without the basic fundamental practice of the karma, so is clear, is clearly ignorance, indication of their ignorance and or the misunderstanding of the what is really practice means.
Chezangata lende li chi bitewa shepala lende songu yore. Te inza lende songu yena lende karik ni songu yore. Tandela ni dodu tsawa shiwa ina ni le ni nyembe le ani le pechewa le majepa tu mtepa shepa le shepa chama zawasne no jingune chone de sunjo ere tina nyonde ni mila tingone jitingone do dizoji ma chu shot da is
So let's talk not in like in great detail, but it's just in briefly. Let's discuss about the subject of the law of karma and its effect. So we will discuss about the karma. So in terms of the four characteristics of any karmas. So that is to say that the karma is definite, and the karma is that's the first, and then second karma is increasing, and then thirdly the not meeting with a karma which you have not created, and the fourth is the karma which is created, doesn't get exhausted.
제가 네 동부 녜빌레스 녜빌리스는 다 도와루네 갈수 요새나 진짜와이 레시나 저우 된다니든지 저우 된다 뉴원 절세 든지 순고래 가르세나 저 개와시 발라테네 대와 코난 죽은 마도 중간 죽은 말이스 네 점게와 시발라테네 저와 둥가 코런 죽은 마도 네 telha dewan jugu mare sine tani sungores.
So the first the karma is a definite, or what does that mean? It means like it is said relating to this. There's in the Vinaya Sutra. So it is said that the whatever the type of karma that you one create, and the result will follow the suit. So when you if we elaborate this meaning, then it means it is saying that if we create a positive or a virtuous karma, then the result will be definitely like the happiness, whereas the result of a non-virtuous karma or the negative karma, then the will be definitely the sufferings. So this is the we understand this is the relationship between the definitive relationship between the cause and the effect in terms of the good karma and the happiness and bad karma and suffering.
제장아 빼나가 저기 저거 대체 조항아몬다 오진대와이나 아니 사회대고 니 주무지다 나잖아 아니 저부터 나모요 다요 말와 된 오지거니 저부터 주무진대와이나 사회가모지 그때 사회도 다잖아 아니 대용다면 노지가 대용다면 노지레스.
So this cause and effect are this definitive relationships, which we can also observe in the like outer things. So for example, because of these definitive characteristics, that if we are hoping for the outcome of something sweet, then we must implant a seed which can produce that something sweet effect, sweet result, fruit. And we cannot expect from this sweet seed to produce something like a sour, fruit. So similarly, if we are looking for something savory fruit, then we must implant the same the respective seeds, and we cannot get that same result from something implanting something of a sweet the seed.
제장안에 다 맞죠. 제우 아무도 심어 가른 데와이나 토마 지그네 가서 아니 사회근에 가서 또 가르치 그에 뭐데 조치시 드니래 돼요. 맞도 제 사회 다 차네 뉴시에 차와제더니 다 될지 지못다에는 아무 그건데서네 다 파지 뭐지 다 고마다 아니지 아무저 다시 제나야 아니 됐을까 거요. 대노지가 가서 무슨 놀라다 뭐 기회가 사회지 다 될 문제우지 뭐 자디 살았다 지다 되고지도 드니 이거 다시 제외나 저부터 못 살아 진짜네 제 거요 그래서 아니 드니 숨어서
so depending on what kind of result we want to achieve, so we must give our thought on ensuring that we put the right result, so the right cause, and so therefore the choosing the right cause is really very essentials, because instead of being very careful about what in the causal time what we implant, and for example we are looking for something sweet, but instead of sweet, in the causal time, if we implant something which can produce a savory taste, then how, once it is implanted, then, the seeds already implanted, then we cannot really, if you're trying to make any effort to, when the seeds started to sprout, but in order to change the taste, it doesn't help if you're trying to add some milk or some sugar or whatever, any other substance we put in it doesn't help. So therefore, it is, if we have to see some changes, we have to to consider or the opportunity for us to see the change is during the causal period. But whereas once the result is already happened, like for example we already have found our life, so it's really there's not much we can do to change this life at this very moment.
대노지가 당가 조선 체체와래 가르수여잖아. 뭐게와래 둥가칸스. 대신 년로 도체도스. 게레 된로 도체도 시와 컨트 대와 도스. 시에니다 시동가 조 대와도 둥가 생에데 점매 발에 오시오 말에. 드니티 셰파 보제 라우시라 소피가 monte비가 jelet니 이거 니 게와도 뭐 게와 조샤지거든지 이래 돼요 말에. 대인상 가서 데도 나초반 주와데 아니 저 게와도 아니 뭐 게와 알아 셰파라 되는 중고요 그래서네. 아니 드니 숨도스.
So this also I got to quote from the Precious Garland, where which says that all the sufferings result from non-virtuous actions, as well as the lower, rebirth, lower rebirth, and whereas all the good, the happiness and the good rebirth all result from the virtuous actions, virtuous actions. So in this way, there is we have to understand that the effect or things doesn't happen without any cause. So there must be the result must arise from its cause, and then as to the type of the cause, so it's not like not the case that anything can arise from anything, So rather, because the things doesn't arise from the cause which is not accord with it, like for example, there is no thing does all the thing doesn't. There's no such thing as the like the all creator God, like a Ishvara, so some who from there everything arise. So because saying that is like things arise, all the things are the product of some all creating God. So is like then it makes it possible for then things to a product to result from a cause which is not suitable, which doesn't accord with the result.
다 니발 니 렘페체와 생기들 렘페체와 생기데 맞죠 시동의 시진제도 농기 진제스니 진제라 니시거든 진제라 시진제도 농기 진제 니 노네 시진제래 농기 진제들 페체와요 그래서 니 빼나 시 진제라 니 땅고 진제오 컴블라서부터 시동의 사회라서부터 춘추지 따져이 될라 시동부 가세 첨불로 막 가세 못 보지 자도 못 지은 거 배운 거 이나요 댐페와 너지가 니 노그 진제라요 델레주 니 페체와 아니 다 개와 까부 개와 소나다 니 무개와 소게 무개외래 소게나다 아니 디긴 제우텔라 아니 드니 페체와요 그래서네 안에 드니 수요데서.
So now we go to the second characteristic, which is that the karma is increasing. So now here there is we can when we talk about the cause and effect. So there are cause and effect of the external things and the internal things, and so it is said that between the two, then this characteristic of increasing is even greater with regard to the cause and effect of internal things, and so therefore when we say the karma has the characteristic of increasing, so it means that even a tiny karma can produce a multiple or a result, and increasing, can produce an enormous result. So such that even much greater than the outer things, like external things, like how we can observe how by from a tiny seed can produce a tree with a great many branches and the leaves and the fruit, and how all this the huge trees, all this arise from a tiny seed. So in fact, when we think about the karma, the internal the cause and effect, then it is said that this characteristic of increasing is even far greater. That is to say, even a tiny virtue or non-virtue can produce a far greater characteristic or produce a great many result. So to illustrate, so this the meaning of the karma being increasing, having the characteristic of increasing. So there are many stories. So according to one story, so where it is said that this, as a result of this, one like a bhikshus, who who kind of scolded or abused one of the voice of the there's a chanting chant masters by saying that voice of the chant master is like sounds like the like a barking of a dog. And so it says that as a result of that creating that karma, that this bhikshu was then, acquired the dog, 400 lifetime of a dog life, and born as a dog 400 times. And then there's another story where there's a great a scholar in China, and who was out of such great pride in his own knowledge. So he's criticized by saying that all the other scholars are like snakes. And so as a result of that, it is in the story it said that in that very lifetime, and so this scholar almost like turns into a snake, real snake. Even his head turns into from his head emerges the actual heads of the snakes and so forth. So corresponding to this, for example, the first characteristic of karma, that is that the karma is definite. So the practice that we can understand, we can understand from that is that we must definitely practice only create only the virtuous, virtuous actions, and to never accumulate our non-virtuous actions. So similarly, by understanding the second characteristic of the increasing karma, karma's characteristics of increasing, then to understand that that in practice, then it is worth to when it comes to creating virtuous actions, then even a tiniest virtue, very tiniest virtues is also very worthwhile to create. Whereas when it comes to abandoning the non-virtuous, then we must inspire or to be inspired and to think of even the worthiness of eliminating even very tiny non-virtuous actions.
제자다 선발에 맞게 봐도 못해 봤으니 다 맞게 봐도 못해 봤으니 단 제부 둥아이난다 대화이난다 소소그 지지지 쏘매와이나 아니 되는 중 말해서 다 sendelanga su chachana pena mutana da mutapi pete tochanayo ti nula te mote sanzo chencho chine mewa ta sanzo mashi wa tani mutal tana to mote pete chi sen thya ya samari so tani yungo arte inela ne mashi mewa tani yungdo ya ji kumba tocha mombonen chongdenge tani ya shi ma ngetano yungdo kashena ya 대지 마지와 돌론조 신종이 드니 요래 다도 강가 아니 레 마제 빠도 소소기 소게 레데 제메이자 셔게야 그다 데 레데 제데 소메 전제부터 마음 버려서 제자 제우 뭔가와라 이쯤에 제지 소고 그래서 대시고 요래서
And then now the third is the characteristic. Third characteristic is that not meeting with not meeting or not experiencing the result of the karma which one has not created or not accumulated. So this means that this is to imply that whatever we experience our life, whatever the result that falls upon us, that it's all happenings because we have created the causes. On the other hand, if we have not created the causes, then we will never experience any result. So, like if we can, if we observe how in the various event in our life, such as how sometime in certain like a car accident, where the accident can be so drastic and so bad that that way it happened, but still sometimes the way it happened, it looks like there's no chance for anyone to survive, but then we will find a survival from that, just the beyond our expectations. And similarly, how even though there's no hope for people to survive, but when people jump off from a very high high buildings, but yet they kind of manage to survive. And this also why they survive, because they haven't the accumulated cause, having accumulated karma to die in that particular the incident. So likewise, but on the other hand, we see some people who die so just as a result of just a minor fall over, so they just because of that they just simply die, immediately. So therefore this is all we have to understand, that this is all to do with the whether or not all the causes and conditions are there or not, and to show that how when the causes are not there, then it won't happen. Things doesn't happen. So this we have to understand from here.
제장하다 요와 레셰바 첨자와 생기들이 대인자 텔란돌레 가르선 리제노 질레노는 까와자 첨자스네 아니 드니수죠디 가르세나 아니 레지 소차와이나 세시말 마마마 이나요 아니 이림보지 지네 방임바지네 고 먼저 매바다 아니 야 이림보지 지네 고 추르노네 아니 매완도 아이다 드니 레요 말이스 네 이림보 가세지 까와 잘마도 로야나요 기가 저부터 논지질라 네 뭐용고요 그래서 아 드니sun고요 그래서
And now the last characteristic of karma, so which is that the karma which one has created doesn't get its result or doesn't get exhausted, doesn't just disappear, And so what does this mean? Is as we. As is said in this there's one sutra where it says the karma which the being, a sentient being created, have created, won't get exhausted, even if even if it goes for the hundreds of aeons, it doesn't get exhausted, and so this is to say that to understand that after we have created the karma or accumulated the karma, and then the karma will bear its result. We cannot. It is wrong to think that over a period of time, then either the karma might just simply become smaller, or it will just disappear. Disappear. So as it's saying in the sutra, so even if it can remain intact, even if as long as even for hundreds of aeons, and because it's intact, so and it is ready to, when the condition comes together, it is ready to produce. It will produce its result.
제장하다 맞죠? 니 센델라야 니 디파몬보 있어 선바수수 하고 그래. 될 때는 다 생각만 나서요. 다 지월 중매와 인자 생각만 봐요. 단대가 니 센델을 써는 지금 써 선바래. 예빠몬보지. 다 될라니 디근 저원 넘어 본발라 소파니 만주와 타요 말외에서나 만주이 그 다시 요르외에서나 다시 요르스. 가르스나 가서 기시에 왔던 노지 같이 때문인데 니 빠침보 니 대침보더니 진짜 아니 대도 아니 제우 문주와 셰발라 아니 따지 거네 아니 쇼바셰와이나 아니 쇼바셰 주요 그래서
so in terms of the accumulation of karma, if you imagine, how much karma we might have accumulated even in this single lifetimes, how much we have created, and then of course if you take into account of our past life, then of course the number of karmas, so that even including negative karmas that we might have created would be. So we would have a great storage of the karmas, in our mind field. So therefore, if you ask, there we might have a questions, that is whether is it possible to purify all these negative karmas. stock of negative karma within us or not, then of course it is possible to purify it. And as we've been discussing that how this, we say that this life, precious human life that we have found now, it is very precious in the sense it is of great potentials. So what does that mean is if we utilize these, and we will be able to, we can actually purify it, we can actually get rid of all these stocks of all the negative karmas which we have accumulated within us. So the next, what we can do to purify all the negative karmas that we have accumulated, so far, and so this it is said that the way to purify the negative karma is by applying the four forces of purifications, and so I think we finished for the time today. So we will maybe go over these four forces of purification in next week teachings. Thank you. So as we recite these dedication prayers, so just think that whatever virtues that we have accumulated, whether by listening to these teachings or by giving these teachings, so all of us, so we dedicate this our virtue as a cause to generate a bodhicitta mind within us.